with your introduction.
Okay. I'm Stuart Prettel. I'm running for Aiken County Sheriff. Many of you I already know. I've been in Aiken County 35 years. I've been in law enforcement since 1977. I've spent most of my life in volunteer service. I've been a paramedic. I've been a fireman. I'm actually a certified diver that offers my services to anybody that needs it. I've taught aeronautics education to youth through the Air Force Auxiliary, Civil Air Patrol. I've spent my entire life trying to help people and be with people that need help. I'm running for sheriff because I've seen the crime rate skyrocket in Aiken County. We used to be the second safest county in South Carolina. That's not true anymore. I'm watching my fellow Aiken County citizens being victimized constantly, and I could not sit home and do nothing about it. I am a constitutional conservative. I have always been a constitutional conservative. I am now, and I always will be. I have core values that I will never leave. Not for one vote. I do not change my beliefs. I was a Goldwater kid back in the early 60s, and I have never changed. I have been a conservative through and through, and I owe allegiance to the Constitution of the United States, and I will never violate the Constitution. My mother was a sergeant in the Marine Corps. My mother was a sergeant in the Marine Corps in World War II, and that woman will come back and haunt me till the day I die.
And after.
Couple things. Thank you everyone else for coming out and listening to us. Appreciate your concern. Thank you to the Republican Party. First off, I'd like to introduce my wife Kim, who's going through this journey with me back in the back. Appreciate everything she does. I started my public safety career when I was 16 years old as a volunteer fireman right down the street here in Granite with GOP Fire Department. Stayed on down there for several years. I joined the Aiken Department of Public Safety in 1989. Started like everybody does as a public safety officer. Was on the road for 5 or 6 years, worked my way up the Community Services Division. Then I got promoted to narcotics. I worked narcotics for 12 years. I was on a federal task force, ATF task force, which we have here in Aiken County. And then in 2012, I was promoted to captain of our investigation division, which is currently where I'm still serving. And I'm over adult investigations, juvenile investigations, school resource officers, evidence, crime analysts, victim services, and I think that's it. I was fortunate enough in 2016 to be selected to go to the FBI National Academy. Recommended to go, selected to go, and went. It's a 10-week training program for command staff level police officers in their agency. It's international training. A lot of people don't get to go. Less than 1% of police officers in the world get selected to go, and I was fortunate enough to get to go. So that's about my professional background. Personally, Kim and I live in Aiken. We have a daughter that lives here in Aiken County, one in California, and born and raised here my entire life, served the community, and I could retire and enjoy life, but I still have a drive to make Aiken a better place, to make Aiken a safer place, and I think that I'm the person to do it. Thank you.
My name is Dave Wilson. I'm running for sheriff of Aiken County. Give you a little bit of history about myself. First of all, I'm not a public speaker. I'm a doer. Okay. First of all, my background is I was born in a small little town called Bryceville, Tennessee, and I was raised in Cleveland, Ohio. When I joined at the age of 17, I joined the military, and I spent 2 years in Vietnam. And then I retired as a chief warrant officer out at Fort Gordon here. I traveled spent a lot of time overseas in Germany, in Fort Hood, Texas, the 82nd Airborne Division, all that good stuff. I'm also a Mason, Eastern Star, and myself, I've got a company that I've been running for approximately 32 years, and it's called Georgia Carolina Bell Lines. We do a lot of bonding out of people. I'm also a private investigator, and I'm a bounty hunter. I travel around the world basically picking up people, bringing them back, and putting them in jail. That's my background.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so let's get started with the questions then. We've got a number of questions here that should give you a good overview of each of these candidates. So starting with Stuart Prettel, number one question is that all candidates are in favor of more training. Besides training, what specific improvements are needed to improve the Aiken County Sheriff's Department?
There's an old saying from a poet in 1452 in Turkey. It was, "The fish rots from the head down." There is a huge difference between a leader and someone in charge. Whatever the attitude of the person at the top is going to be, it will filter down to everyone. If you've got someone at the top that does not communicate with the citizenry, if they are not talking to church groups, to council meetings, to people on the street, if they are not working with their deputies, they do not know what's going on. Training is essential, but one of the first things it has to do is you have to have a heart for this job. I used to tell people being a police officer is not what I do, it's who I am. A police officer, I know many of you heard this story, a police officer changed my life one time in 10 seconds when I was a foster kid. I've been through the system. I walked past the Woolworths with a woman who would adopt me. We were going to lunch, and that does throw me off when you do that, you know. And we were going to lunch, and there was a police officer standing there, and the man talked to me. He had no idea I was a kid going through the system. He had no idea all the trauma that I'd been in my lifetime, even as a little kid. And that officer, he took the time to talk to me, and he changed my life. And I swore I would be an officer all my life, and that's what I've done for 45 years, since 1977. Every police officer out here, every deputy sheriff out here can have the same impact on people. Maybe not every day, but they've got to communicate with people. They have got to have the heart for the community. They have got to be able to communicate with children. You can change tires on for people. You can carry groceries for women that may be struggling in the parking lot. You can talk to a kid that's having a problem maybe before he shoots up the school. So training is absolutely essential. But having a heart for this job, having a heart for people, having a heart for the kids that you go into and see every single day while you're on patrol, that is the most important thing. If you do not have a heart for police work, you have to be a confessor, you have to be a priest, you have to be a father, a mother. There are so many aspects to this job that it just encompasses being a police officer, being a deputy sheriff. You have got to love people, and I absolutely do, and I've been that way my entire life. You can change people's lives just by your attitude and just by 10 or 15 seconds talking to them. Just show that you care, and that is more important than a lot of the training that they do get on a daily basis.
Training is essential, but training is essential. I think the first thing that would help the sheriff's office and improve things in the sheriff's office is a sheriff and a command staff that show the employees at the sheriff's office that they care about them, that they take care of them, that they have their back. And if the sheriff and the command staff has a positive attitude, that flows down, as Stuart said, it flows down from the head down and gives them a better attitude. The primary issue that we've got to focus on that will make any law enforcement agency better is retention. We in law enforcement, as the business y'all are in, cannot keep good employees. They'll come to work for 2 or 3 years, go somewhere else. Work there 2 or 3 years, go somewhere else. Work there 2 or 3 years, go somewhere else. We can hire them every day. We're hiring people every day. We can't keep them. County Council has done a tremendous job. North Augusta Council, Aiken Council with pay. Pay is not the issue. We're making more money than we ever thought we would make. It's just this younger generation has no loyalty. We got to figure out a way to keep them on the job for more than 4 or 5 years. A goal of mine, I will have a recruitment team, part-time, not full-time, to go to these universities, to go to these military bases, to try to get employees to come. My ultimate goal is that the people that work for me are the biggest recruiters I have. I want them to go out and say, Marty Sawyer is a good person to work for. He takes care of his people. He backs us when we need to be backed up. He's stern. He don't give us everything we want like a bunch of kids. And he cares about the community. If we can keep people there, we can produce the best product we can produce, and you get it when it comes out to you. So I think them two things are of the utmost importance. A command staff and sheriff that cares about the people know they care about them, and they support them, and they're figuring out a way to retain people and retain people.
Okay, a couple things I would like to do is, first of all, give you a little background about myself. I've been an undercover narcotics agent, I've been a chief of police, I've been a road patrol deputy and things, and my main thing right now is community safety. That, you know, having the police officers out there or deputies out there in a community, like the gentleman who said earlier, is essential to our great county. Right? The police officers or deputies got to be out there and patrolling the area. They definitely got to protect our citizens in Aiken County. School resource officers. Our school resource officers, I've talked to several of them, and they basically says that there's very few training, very little training, should I say, for them to on active shooting or anything of that nature. All right. The drugs and things out here, early prevention in schools and working with different agencies out here to get people off drugs. I know it's very likely, but a lot of people, when they get addicted to drugs, they will stay on it the majority of the rest of their life. I've been out there on the street. I've been, like I said, undercover. I've been out there watching these people, been with these people and things. So I know, you know, drugs is going to be a major issue too. Homeless. There are homeless people out here today is lying on streets and things of that nature. Lying on streets, and we need to get something done for the homeless out here. We need to get some places set up. Richmond County, Georgia just set up something over there, and one of my things right now is for the homeless. I'm looking to buy at least 5 or 6 acres of land and put some type of little buildings and things on, and let the homeless come in there. There's a lot of other different things. Training for our officers. Our officers definitely needs to be trained properly, have a little bit of sense of humor, have a little bit of sense for working with the citizens out here. And I want to make Aiken great. Thank you.
All right, so our second question then is, if we're going to be starting with Marty Sawyer with that one, so you're ahead of me on there, Marty. Question number 2, how would you handle it if a state or federal authority mandated that you enforce a law that you feel is either unlawful or unconstitutional? And as it relates to that, are you willing to potentially be sued or go to jail for yourself for violating that mandate?
When you take your oath of office, you take the oath of office for the Constitution of the United States, State of South Carolina, and the ordinance of Aiken County, and that's what I'll do. The Constitution is there for a reason. It was written by our forefathers a long time ago who's a whole lot smarter than we are today. Federal government, I have guns, I have plenty of guns. I don't want them coming to take my guns. I'm not going to let them come take yours. As an elected official, sheriff, we can stop that. And I know probably what the follow-up is, because Stuart and I have answered it before another one, but, you know, what if they cut your federal funding off? If you don't let them come take the gun or do whatever they want to do. And I said this, and I don't know if any county council members here or not, county council better find some more money, if we're not going to get federal funding. Yeah. They're not coming in Aiken County and violating your rights. We'll stop it, and I don't need to keep going on this waste forever.
Same question, Ms. Wilson.
I echo his words, okay? My thing is, we don't want people coming, federal government or anything. I spent 20 years regulated by the federal government and things in the United States Army. We don't need that here in Aiken County. We need our citizens to be the one that stands up and tell our legislators what to do and how to do it and when to do it. That's all I got to say.
The Constitution never mentioned sheriffs, believe it or not. The first elected sheriff was in 1652, and it comes from the Shire in England. That's where the sheriffs come from. The first duty of a sheriff is to obey the state's laws, the state constitution, and the Constitution of the United States, even though sheriff is not mentioned in there. Red flag laws are unconstitutional, no question. Nobody has a right to go into someone's home and take their guns. A lot of people who are elected sheriff, and most people don't even understand how powerful a sheriff is. The only one who can arrest a sheriff is the coroner. The federal government gets out of Aiken County if the sheriff tells them to get out of Aiken County. People do not understand how powerful a sheriff is. It is unbelievable when you really read about it. The federal government doesn't have a chance against a sheriff. A sheriff is the only elected law enforcement official in the United States. The only one. The federal government knows that, but they want to lie to people, and they want to be all powerful. Not in Aiken County. Now, sheriff's office up north are completely different than the ones in the south, but we have to obey the state of South Carolina. Federal government cannot stand up to a sheriff. They are all powerful, and they basically do what they want to do. As long as they obey the law, they don't break the law, they do what they want to do. And any federal government that comes in here and violates the law, I will do what Marty said. I will lock them up. They have no right to violate the Constitution, and that will not happen in the county of Aiken when I'm sheriff.
All right, so question number 3, and we're going to rotate down to Mr. Wilson first. What are your ideas for recruiting for all departments with current vacancies within the Aiken County Sheriff's Department?
Well, first of all, we need some good, honest recruitment people. So we get out here in the high schools. We can get out here in the community, put flyers out, talk to the people, mainly college students, high school That's where we need to start at, okay? And then in the community, getting people involved and recommending people to be a police officer or a deputy sheriff and whatever.
Police officers, law enforcement, I've known them for 45 years. Many officers will take less pay to work in a place where they're happy to go to work. Now, I know most of you have had bosses that were not very good. And a lot of you, again, had bosses that were great. And I don't know about you, but if I had a boss that was fantastic, I would love to go to work. I would do my job. I would do everything I could to make that boss look good. Because a boss looks good by the people that he hires. If you treat deputies with respect, if you are out there with them, my plan is, first of all, you got 30 pounds on your gun belt. Take that 30 pounds off, put it in a load-bearing vest. You will save the backs of these officers. My son is a Charleston County deputy. He told me, Dad, he said, I don't think I can last 4 years with this 30 pounds on my, I am so much pain. Well, they put him in a load-bearing vest, and he's been fine. He said, Dad, I think I can make the career, and he's on 7 years. If you treat these deputies with respect, you have fair promotions. If you have education, so they can go from maybe another department if they do want to after years, but they can also make lateral transfers. If they have a sheriff that cares about them, if they go to them and with a problem, I'll give you another, for instance, my son got in a shooting, a fatal shooting, and Internal Affairs was trying to make him go back to work in a week. He went, I told him to go to see the sheriff. He went to see the sheriff, and she told him, she said, Stuart, take your time, take as much time as you need. He took 30 days off, he was great. But that was is the kind of sheriff that people respect. He loves to go to work. He loves to do his job. He's got the highest numbers in the department because he has a sheriff to care about them. People, law enforcement will go to a department where they make less money and they love to go to work. If I was making $10,000 more and hated going to work, I would not want to do that, and many officers don't. If you make a great working environment for these deputies, certified officers will come from everywhere. And that is the key. You have got to care about your employees, you've got to know what's going on with them, and you've got to spend time with them out in the field. They have to have the knowledge that the sheriff has walked in their shoes before and still is. And if you have a sheriff that cares about these people, they are going to come here and the attrition rate is going to go down.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, I want my employees to be my #1 recruiter because they want to work for me and they think their friends and family would want to work for me. I will have a recruitment team of people from each division, the road patrol, investigations, special operations, the jail, everywhere, that will go to college campuses, will go to military job fairs, we'll go to like Aiken Tech, USC, Aiken job fairs, and recruit people in with videos. I think you should start early. There's a vocational, or there's a career center not a mile down the road from here. Why not start there? Why not start when they're in high school? Have a program that they can come to the sheriff's department and do stuff. They don't have to ride. I don't want them to have to ride at 16, 17 years old. I think who I would like to primarily focus on recruiting is military and volunteer firefighters. I know you're thinking, why in the world? They're already volunteering to serve their community. Volunteer firefighters for free, and the military is doing it for minimal money, leaving their family, going to foreign countries and fighting so we can do this here tonight. So if they're already volunteering to go and protect you and serve you, why not recruit them and try to get them to do it locally? We at Public Safety hire a lot of people from the military, and we have good success. Nothing against college. Nothing against college. The volunteer firefighters and the military people we hire do a whole lot better job and care a whole lot more about the community because they wanted to.
All right, so our next question then is, if the overcrowding of the jails continue to be a problem, what would be your solution to that problem? Mr. Wilson, start with you. Yeah, because if you finish with you, that's right. Stuart, it's yours. Thanks for keeping me straight.
Jail overcrowding is a problem. The department, the sheriff, the building the sheriff is using needs to be rebuilt. If we need to build a bigger jail to keep the citizens safe, then that's what we need to do. I cannot worry about an overcrowding jail and letting people in through a revolving door that are going to keep victimizing the citizens of Aiken County. I mean, who has more priority? Is it the prisoners or is it the citizens of Aiken County? We have got to, we've got 65,000 people going to the new cyber center. We've got 35,000 people going to the NSA. We have got people in corporations over in Augusta, and many of these people are going to be moving here. The population in Aiken County listed from the census is 175,000. That's going to explode. I think it's more like 180,000 on right now. With a growing population, you're also going to have criminality. 1% of every growth of population are going to be criminals. We cannot keep the status quo, protect the citizens. It doesn't match. You have got to enlarge the sheriff's office. You've got to enlarge the jail. We cannot let people out to victimize the citizens of Aiken County. The citizens take priority all the time. I'm sorry, but if it's overcrowded, then we're going to have to do something to fix it. We're going to have to either enlarge the jail or build another one. If people want to keep doing what they're not supposed to do, then I'll keep putting them in jail. But we cannot have the citizens victimized on a daily basis like what's happening now.
We can't stop putting people in jail because they're continuing to break the law. Last week, the jail was almost 400 people. I think that's a little over 100 over capacity. They're building a wing right now that's going to add 150 beds. If they opened it today, it would be full. We would need another one added on. I think there's a simple solution. Working with the solicitor's office. The majority of people in jail, if we could get them through the court system, would either be out on probation or be sent to the state system. They wouldn't be a burden to you as taxpayers here in Aiken County. When I checked in February, there was 30 people in jail for murder. 30 people in jail for murder. Some of them for 5 years. As an American citizen, that aggravates me that they don't have a right to go to trial before 5 years. That is not right. Whether they're guilty or not guilty, they have the right to trial. So let's work with the solicitor. Let's have extra court weeks. They can ask for it, whether they get it or not. And let's just do nothing but plea after plea after plea after plea. And either they get out on probation or they go to the state system and they're out of the county system. But I'm telling you, a large portion of your tax money is keeping them people in jail and feeding and taking care of them. I wish I'd brought the paper with me. I don't have the exact number in my mind. But I think that's one solution. The next solution is we've got to get these judges to start putting them in the state system. They give them probation over and over and over and over, and they're back in jail over and over and over and over. Hey, keep making a killing on them. They're going to get out of jail. So I think working with police officers, working with the judges, and getting them out of the county system into the state system is the simplest way I know to do it. They ain't gonna quit breaking the law.
The last person to echo basically what both of them done saying, but I would like to say, I am not making a killing, but I'm making a living. That's the difference between the two. Yes, I see this every day of the week. We find out a lot of people out of the Aiken County Jail, and some of them, like Marty said, sitting there on murder and everything else, that should be sent up the road to the state prisons. But as of right now, our jail is completely overfull, even with the bonding company bonding people out of jail. Okay, so anyway, I hope I can make a better living, but anyway. What we need right now is, like Marty was saying too, solicitors. We need to get these solicitors to get with the judges. These judges is going to have to start basically giving them some type of probation. Put them on a monitoring system. Put them on some type of system that can basically control their ways and means out here on the streets, what they're doing out here on the street. That's the main thing we need to get done. Is, you know, get them out of there. Taxpayers is paying like $90 to $100 per day per person that is sitting in that jail, and that's why where the majority of our funds is going. So anyway, if we can get the solicitors and some of the lawyers and things to get in there, get these people out. We don't need murderers out, but we need to get the ones in there that disorderly conduct and things of that nature, right? And put them on a monitoring system. Let the county has the capability to monitor these people. Let's get these people out there and get them out of there and save this taxpayer some money. Thank you.
All right, so homelessness and crime is on the increase in Aiken County. We see it all the time. What would your solution be to those problems?
It's not against the law to be homeless. A lot of the homeless problem is mental health and drugs. There's programs out there to help these people. The Sheriff's Department can be involved with it, be a part of it. There's all kinds of mental health associations out there. There's all kinds of drug rehab places out there. We need to partner together to try and solve the homeless problem that we have here in Aiken County. And I said this last night, a lot of the homeless people are homeless because they want to be.
Yeah.
That upsets you, I'm sorry, I'm not a politician, I'm a police officer. They are homeless because they want to be. There's help for them, and they don't want it. We see that every day. As far as solving the crime problem, I think beefing up your road patrol, visibility of marked patrol cars deters crime. You can't put a number on it. There's no way to say, we stopped 3 crimes today just because it's in a police car. It might be 3 today and 10 tomorrow. So you got to have visibility in your neighborhoods, and even out, I was telling them earlier, I went to Chickapin Church Road Tuesday night and met 30 guys. Chickapin Church Road, good Lord, that is way out there. I had no clue where I was going. They never see a patrol car. And I told them, you're not going to see one every day. You might not see one every week, but you'll start seeing more because we're going to beef up the road patrol. There's some positions in the Sheriff's Office, I think, that we can move around to add to the road patrol. And I want to have a group of 4 people that work specifically where we tell them to work. They may be in the Valley this week, they may be in Windsor next week, they may be in Sally next week, depending on where the issues are and what issues we're having. I want them to tell them, go to Sally, here's my complaints, shut it down. Do it the right way, do it the legal way, go down there and shut them down. I got a complaint on a house in the Valley at this address, go shut them down. Do it the right way, do it the legal way, but it can be done.
It should be yours.
Okay. Oh, beautiful.
We're going to argue about.
Don't get grabby.
from you.
Okay, I agree with Marty about putting special groups of deputies, undercover people out there in the areas that, especially the high crime rate areas. There's a lot of high crime rate areas out here in the area, or in the county, shall I say. Wagner, Sally, I travel them every day of the week out here looking for the people that fails to appear for court. I'm out there looking for them. Like today, we arrested 3 people and put them in jail because they had court and failed to appear for court. So anyway, we're out there in these different areas every day. We see all this different crime. We see all these people, the homeless people and things, laying on the streets. I'll give you a prime example. Probably about 2 months ago, me and several of my people that worked for me down in Hunter, we was out by a gas station over there on Richland Avenue, and there was a homeless man laying on the side of the gas station. And by him being homeless, he had a dog with him. And it was, it was freezing. It was cold outside. He had nothing other than a shirt on. So me and my guys, we went over, got the blankets that we had in the car, and took it over there and for him and his dog. He had nothing to eat, so we went to McDonald's, got him some food, and gave it to him. And, I understand the homeless situation out here, and I kind of feel sorry for them, but like Marty said, some of them they want to be homeless. This morning I was going to McDonald's to get me and my beautiful wife something to eat. And there was a lady sitting on the side of the road holding a sign, I'm homeless and I need money and all that. Well, that stuff, my personal opinion, needs to stop. And we need to make sure that we, because I've been around Thursday, second now. Anyway, I've seen this, and I have actually recorded one of the ladies that was out there holding signs up, left the area, went and got into a beautiful Cadillac and took down the road. But people stopping there and giving them money every day. Thank you.
Sarasota, Florida was known as the meanest city in America because of the way they treated their homeless. In 2015, they partnered with the Red Cross. They went from 1,100 homeless to 104 in 4 years. The key to getting many of these people off the street is coordinating with the Red Cross, with places like Christ Central. These people are living in the woods. And a lot of people, like I said, do not want to come in. They do not. I've talked to many of these people, and I know they've said that a lot of them want to live homeless. When I worked up north in Virginia, every once in a while we would put somebody in jail just so they would keep from freezing at night. We would feed them. A lot of these people, if you treat with them compassion and you have patience and talk to them, they want to change their lives, and that's what they're doing in Sarasota. They give them about 3 days and feed them and clothe them if they have to. They give them a bed, and then they ask them, is this what you want to do with your life? Do you want to live in the woods? The main thing for homelessness is either addiction, mental illness, or in this economy, it could be that they just lost their home. And that's happening a lot. And the people that are out in the woods because of the economy, they don't want to stay there. The people living in their cars, they don't want to live in their cars. They want to change their lives. And there are ways of doing it. Like I said, I've been here 35 years. I've never seen homeless in Aiken before, other than the last maybe 5-6 years. I mean, I've seen them sleeping on the street, in the parks. I've never seen that in Aiken. Why are they coming here? But as I said, we also have 10 million people that we don't know who they are, where they are. They're being all brought in. We have all people moving in from Augusta. We have got to partner with these programs to try to help these people. But there are also a lot of people that are criminals, and that's what they do. They live in the woods and they steal stuff. And we've got to do something about putting them in jail. But then we get into the question of the overcrowding in jail again. So what do we do? Do we protect the citizens of South Carolina, or do we worry about the jails and overcrowding? There is a solution to these problems as far as the crime. We've had 100 overdose deaths last year. We have 20 this year. We've had hundreds in the past year. We've got fentanyl. We've got meth all on the street in the valley. Windsor basically has no law enforcement. They basically have maybe a deputy ride through every once in a while. And the people there are very upset because things are being stolen. Nobody's being arrested. We need more deputies with the influx of people coming in. We have got to enlarge the sheriff's office.
This is me, yours, Mr. Wilson. This will be our last question that I've got for you. And then after this round of questions, we'll each have 2 minutes to closing statement. So last question, what can be done to increase cooperation between the Sheriff's Department and the Aiken Public Safety Department?
Well, basically, I think the sheriff and the chief over there at Aiken Public Safety needs to sit down, talk, and get everything together. That was one of our priorities, or my priorities, if I win sheriff, or when I win sheriff. Basically, to work with all the different agencies, not only Aiken Public Safety, North Augusta Public Safety, Burnett Town, all the other little city police departments affected around here. It's going to take a full cooperation between the Sheriff's Department and all the other agencies around here to work together to help each other. That's the main thing. Is that it?
You tell me.
I mean, the cooperation between the agencies is going to be the main thing. That's work. The sheriff sits down with the chief of police and work out some type of program, or, Aiken Public Safety, they've got a lot of, and I'm not criticizing you, Mr. Marty, but, when they get a call, they're 5 deep. I mean, they are like 5 people out there, 5 patrol cars to handle that call. In Aiken County, I've been there, out on the road out there years ago, that basically you get a call in Wagner, you don't have backup out there really. You got a deputy that's sitting in Aiken that has to drive all the way out to Wagner to get help that deputy out there in Wagner. So we need to get more deputies in the Sheriff's Department. We need to train them. We need to get deputies out, at least 2 deputies out. Thank you, Mel. 2 deputies out there in each of the cities out there: Wagner, Sawyer, Perry, down here in the valley. We need a whole bunch of them down here to do. I'm not being smart or anything, because like he was talking about the woods and things. I've been out here, I ain't gonna mention the area, but out in the woods out there, and you see all kinds of homeless out there, tents set up and things of that nature. And, we go out in the areas, all the different areas every day. Not everybody is from, we just got back from Florida, picking up one, bringing them back here. That's what we need in the Sheriff's Department. We need to get warrant divisions to utilize them to pick up these people that's out of town, in other cities, other states, or whatever. Bring them back here, let the judge handle it from there.
In most jurisdictions, well, Aiken City is within the county. A lot of people don't realize that. When I talk to people about votes, I have people telling me that I would love to vote for you, but I live in Aiken. And I say, why can't you vote for me? Well, I live in the city and not the county. So a lot of people don't understand that the city is still in the county. I know, right? It gives me a headache too. The county in many cities, like North Charleston, and Charleston County will work in North Charleston because North Charleston is so dangerous. The manpower problem with the county, as I said, the population in Aiken County is exploding. It really is, and it is exponentially exploding. Every year, you see all the buildings, they're building apartments, homes everywhere. If the Aiken County Sheriff's Department is enlarged the way it has to be to meet the population demands, they will have more deputies to actually work within the city of Aiken, because it is the county. If the city is shorthanded, well, the county can take over, either run traffic. The city, every law enforcement agency has got to cooperate with one another, because what happens in Aiken City is going to happen in the county. What's going to happen in the county is going to happen in Aiken City. It is not, Aiken City is a microcosm, but it's not alone. It is going to be whatever happens, whatever crime is there, is going to happen everywhere else. But Aiken City is a very different department from Aiken County, and I'll talk about that in the closing. Aiken City is a public safety, fireman, police officer agency, completely different from the county. Now, as far as cooperation, believe me, county deputy is not going to be fighting fire with Aiken City. It's not going to happen. A lot of Aiken City guys want to come to the county because they don't want to fight fires anymore. But any interagency must get along with the other. You need intelligence networks to coordinate in between the investigators, also intelligence. The people ahead of these departments have got to cooperate. And in Burnetown, there's a thing called CAD. It shows all the calls within your patrol car on the computer. Burnetown doesn't have CAD. They could have a shooting with the county right outside of Burnetown, and the officers of Burnetown a block away may not even know about it. It can get them killed, and this has got to stop. All agencies have to work together. It doesn't matter if it's Richland County, even Augusta. We still have got to talk to Augusta, and all the towns through Aiken County, Wagner, Sally, Jackson, Beach Island, they all are connected one way or the other, and that's through crime. And we are all in Aiken County. So every department with Aiken County has got to work with one another to save the citizens of this county from the criminality that is exploding.
They're both right. Law enforcement in general are chasing the same criminals. The only problem is they don't have boundaries. They don't have city limits where they have to stop. They can keep going. Where the city of Aiken, City of North Augusta, Burnetown, all them, they have boundaries. The Sheriff's Department even has boundaries. And they went to the next county, and I don't go into technicality, but we're all chasing the same people. So we have to work together inside this county, with all agencies inside this county, but we need to work with our federal agencies. We got an ATF task force right here in Aiken County, with people from Aiken County, Aiken Public Safety, North Augusta Public Safety, Richmond County Sheriff's Office, and Columbia County. They don't have boundaries. The task force officers from the Sheriff's Office and the two public safeties, they're sworn in just like an ATF agent. So if they need to go to Augusta, they go to Augusta. I had one of my guys in Florence this morning. When I was on the task force, we were in Charlotte. We were all over the place. So we have to work within, the agencies have to work within Aiken County together. No question about it. But we need to use our federal agencies. They have assets that we can't think of owning, and money that we can't think of possessing. I said last night, the federal government's got plenty of money. If you don't believe it, ask them, they print some more. And that's the way it is. We need money. If we have a murder, and I call the task force out to help, ATF task force pays all overtime for every investigator or officer involved in that murder. That's a lot of money that the city don't pay in the budget. So we all agree, we got to work together, no way around it.
so gentlemen, that's the end of the questions. You can now each have 2 minutes to give a final statement to close out the evening. So starting with Stuart Prettel.
I've worked public safety departments for 5 years, fire and police. I was a fireman. I was trained by New York City as a fireman. I retired from Aiken County. I'm a county guy. And the difference between the two departments are night and day. For 20 years, we have had an Aiken City public safety / fireman running the sheriff's office. We were the second safest county in South Carolina. Every year you can see the crime exploding. We have drugs. We have hundreds of people who have died. Every one of these people who died from these drugs have families, had mothers, fathers, brothers, children. This has got to stop. We have got to have a proactive sheriff. We cannot, you know, the old saying, you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. I feel that we cannot keep getting our sheriffs from Aiken Public Safety. It is a completely different entity from the county. The city is 21 square miles, 32,000 people. Aiken County is 1,081 square miles with 175,000 people. Unless you know what it's like at 2:30 in the morning to stop an armed suspect who just robbed a convenience store and your backup is a good 15 minutes away, you have no clue what it's like to be a deputy sheriff. It is dangerous. The city and the county are two completely different entities. We have got to have a different sheriff who knows the county. When I found out that my as I said, who endorsed my opponent, wanted another Aiken City person in there, that's why I ran. I had no idea who Marty was. I'm not running because Marty was endorsed by my company. That's not why I'm running. I'm running because I don't feel that we need another Aiken City officer running the sheriff's office.
Real quick, I'd just like to say, if you don't know about public safety in the sheriff's office, public safety officers go to the same police academy, they take the same classes, they graduate in the same academy, and we enforce the same laws. So, why do I need to be the next sheriff of Aiken County? I can go into that sheriff's office day one with a minimum learning curve and get it going in the direction I want it to go. Because I'm the only one of these three candidates that is active in law enforcement and been active in law enforcement since the early 90s. I know the laws, I know the state regulations, I know the federal regulations. I don't need a learning curve. I can go day one and start moving that department because I'm active, I'm here. I know what's going on in the streets. Second reason, this last thing I'll say is, I don't have to go in and build relationships with other law enforcement agencies. I've been building in relationships for 34 and a half years. I don't need to go build a relationship with Sheriff Rowland, or Sheriff Coon, or Chief Marenko, or Chief Johnson in North Augusta, or Chief Key in Burnett County. I've been doing that my whole career. I can start building relationships with my employees, and I can start building relationships with you as citizens of Aiken County. That gives me a heads up on both of you guys. I got SLED command staff in my phone, Highway Patrol command staff in my phone. I'm ready day one to take office and serve you. Thank you for your attention.
I've got a lot of law enforcement training too. I know the majority of the officers out here. I know the majority of the chiefs out here. I deal in my business as a bail bondsman and bounty hunter. Okay, we deal in law enforcement every day, every week. Right? I keep up abreast on all the different laws. As a bail bondsman, we have to know the law. And when we go into other states and things of that nature, when we go in the city, like if we go to Richmond County, Georgia to pick up somebody, we got to know the law over there. We have to notify law enforcement that we're there. You don't have to do that in Aiken, though. Aiken, you can go out there and pick anybody up you want to. As far as that eventual crimes, you don't have to notify law enforcement. I try to work with some of our representatives and things to get that law passed where you have to, especially as a bail bondsman or bounty hunter, you go out there to notify the sheriff's department. Now, like I said, I know all majority of the people out here because I run the county every day of the week. So I know basically what we need to do. My main concern is be protecting the citizens of Aiken County.